Hey everyone, Difference Maker here, and today we finally got the developer update for the mid-chapter patch incoming. So, reading here, it says, "Welcome to our January developer update." And here, it's basically talking about their dev blog post, and down here is a new video, basically explaining everything here. This is simplified, but anyway, the first thing here, the clown's mid-chapter update is coming, and his new power is the Afterpiece Tonic and Antidote. And what this is going to do is you can switch between tonics at any time, but if you throw an afterpiece antidote, anyone who goes into it will have their movement speed increased by 10%, which is incredible though. But survivors will have their speed increased by 10, but if they run into a purple gas, they get slowed down. So this is interesting because now you have to strategize with the gases. You have to strategize whether to throw yellow or purple. But this is good though because if you throw the antidote, you can run into it and get map pressure and get to gens that are getting done. So this is incredible. And the good news is they finally reduced his reload speed. Now it's only 3 seconds to reload his bottles. And not only that, his add-ons are getting buffed. And they're finally reworking the HUD. The HUD is getting reworked, which is very interesting, that I will admit. It looks very different and unique from the original HUD. And the good news is, character portraits, thank God they are finally adding a hook counter to the survivor. So when you hook people, you don't need to guess anymore on how many times you hooked them. Now there's a hook counter on it. And here is basically, they're talking about all animation updates. I'll show you all that later on after I'm done scrolling through this. That right there is the video talking about the new animations coming, but now the MMR and rank rewards. So now they're going to bring back the MMR system, but they're finally doing something we've all been asking for: rank rewards. Thank God, now you're actually encouraged to get to red rank, so now you'll get extra blood points when you rank up. And now here's the graphics, we already talked about that, but here, wow, another buff. The Wraith is gonna get true invisibility, so now you cannot see the Wraith when he's 24 meters away, and when he's 16 meters away from you, he will appear. That's amazing. And here, Trapper got a change where escaping bear trap odds is now a 1 to 6, which is very good. So now it's less frustrating for both sides. That is great. So already 3 killers got buffed. Now let's look at the most interesting thing. We are going to look at the perk changes and deep wounds. Deep wounds are getting changed too. They're lowering the time to 20 seconds, which I will admit, I don't know about this one. Even though they're lowering the time, it's still not going to be good enough. Anyway, here's the perks. Diversion, they're lowering the time it takes to get the perk activated, which is very good. Vixated, I love this. Don't you hate it when you get hit so hard you forget to move faster? Thank fucking God. Now the perk will remain active while you're injured. That should have been there in the first place. Now we get to the controversial Hex Undying. It's basically saying the problems. Like, don't you hate it? I have to cleanse the same totem multiple times, and since tokens aren't transferred when a hex changes, it's basically explaining the problems. How, like, you wouldn't get tokens back and the aura reading was too strong. And basically, how they changed Undying was anytime a hex totem is cleansed, it will replace the Undying totem, and Undying will deactivate. That's good. In my opinion, that's a fair change. And this is good. They actually buffed the perk. Now, tokens will not disappear when your totem gets cleansed. That's good. So now I can run Devour, Hope, Lullaby, and Third Seal without having to worry about losing tokens. And aura reading only applies to dull totems. That's good. So now Thrill of the Hunt is less bad. So overall, I'm happy with the changes to Undying. And next change is Iron Maiden. This one I'm mixed on. I love how they increased it to 30 seconds, the exposed, but I don't know, we'll have to see it in action. Open-handed, not a big fan of this change, honestly. I love how they made the ore reading increase to 16 meters, but it's still not enough to make it a good perk, and only one person can use it. Why? Why do that to open-handed? It wasn't even a good perk anyways. Anyway, not a big fan of open-handed. And the final perk is Second Wind. they're basically reducing the time it takes for the perk to heal you. Anyway, those were all the changes coming to the mid-chapter, but I'm not ending the video yet. There's still some more things that I need to show you, which was Clown's rework, Wraith's invisibility, and all the new animations coming. Anyway, let's just cut the bullshit and get to it.
The purple bottles are staying the same, so you can play Clown the way you're used to. You throw a purple bottle, people get intoxicated, they slow down, you can hit them. You can switch to throwing yellow bottles, and they have no effect until they turn yellow. So the gray cloud is like a placeholder until it turns yellow and activates. Any player entering a yellow cloud gets extra movement speed for a period of time. So it's called the afterpiece antidote. And if you're intoxicated by a purple cloud and hit a yellow one, then it will remove that effect. And we're not just changing those bottles, we're also going to reduce the amount of time it takes to reload. That's going to be 3 seconds now. Yay! Everybody cheer! Yay! I can hear it. I can hear it.
Alright guys, so to make it short and simple, the Clown's gonna have his same afterpiece tonic that Soul Survivors, but now he can switch between his toxins. So now he uses something called the afterpiece antidote. So now if any survivor runs into that gas, they will have their movement speed increased by 10. This is, in my opinion, is a great change to the Clown, because now you have to actually strategize. You can throw the antidote, then a tonic to slow survivors down and increase your movement speed. And also, you can reload after 3 seconds, which is fucking amazing. So now, let's move on to the next change that was coming, and that's Wraith's true invisibility.
Do you wanna add a little bit on this?
I would love to. We've got true invisibility coming up from the Wraith, which means that if you are more than 24 meters from him, you can't see him at all. Not even a little bit. But once he gets within 16 meters, you will see the shimmer that you see now. And between 24 and 16, it will increase from being nothing to what you see now.
Alright guys, so like they said earlier with true invisibility of the Wraith, this is in my opinion another great buff, because this is actually going to make Wraith a lot more stealthier, and I want you to play a game with me. Can you see Wraith anywhere in this video? I'm going to be honest, I didn't see Wraith at all in the video. I could not find him once. I am so happy they're giving Wraith true invisibility, because now he'll actually be more of a threat to go against because you can't see him. That's another great change. And the final thing I'm going to be showing you guys is the updated animations.
So the idle stance of the art tractors, both male and female, the run, the walk, the crouch, the injured state, but also transition when you move from one direction to another. We added those transition. Also new crawling animation with new turns and a recover animation.
So when we're talking survivor locomotion, what kind of gameplay change should we expect with these changes?
In terms of gameplay, actual gameplay, it should have not changed at all. I mean, that's the idea, and that's the reason why there's a game designer talking about it as opposed to an animator, because it's mostly animation work, technical animation, but one of the goals was to not change the actual gameplay and how locomotion and navigation works in terms of speeds, turn rates, accelerations, and things like that. But we definitely wanted to improve the looks, change the stance, the way the character moves in terms of body movement and aesthetics.
All right. And so we're talking about locomotions, which normally would be in movement, right? Are other animation also changed? For example, cleansing totem, entering lockers, I don't know, throwing a pebble, teabagging, things like that?
Most of them, no, because they're interactions, and we did not touch interactions because this is, again, it's a different topic. It has a heavy impact on gameplay, and this is something else for the future. Though, like teabagging, for example, which is crouching, which is a locomotion, kind of a gameplay. We did update that animation. Well, actually, before there was no animation at all. It was just a blending. So we put in an animation, and we kind of iterated on it to make sure that teabagging still feels satisfying to our players. We did change that, but it should play the same.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Guillaume. And I think that's the awkward moment where we say bye.
Bye-bye.
Please don't keep that.
Alright guys, so to make it short and simple, they're basically updating the survivor animations so when they're idle, they look realistic. They no longer have back problems, which is amazing. And now the running looks realistic. When you crouch, it looks realistic. And crawling actually looks like you're crawling. And my favorite is recovering. That looks incredible. I love how, so if you use Unbreakable and you recover, you actually will get back up like that. That is a very cool change to the animations. I love how they're finally changing animations because it looks like they're giving the game a proper facelift. They're giving it a facelift and actually changing the entire game like this with the animations. And overall, with this mid chapter, even though it's not come out yet and we haven't seen everything, we might get some more perk buffs. You never know, but I am so happy with what we got. The clown rework is incredible. Wraith's buff is incredible. The animations look great. I'm happy we're finally getting a hook counter to the survivors, so now we know how many times we hooked them. And even though killer mains are very upset, I'm going to admit Hex Undying's nerf was actually fair. That was a very fair nerf. So anyway, I'm very happy with this mid chapter, and this is basically everything I'm going to be showing you. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and subscribe and press the silver bell for notifications on my next video. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.